Hi everyone, it's Barb Cook here. Welcome to my new little segment that I'm going to be doing every Wednesday. I'm going to be calling it Excerpts and Elaborations. What I plan to do is read you a little excerpt out of my book, Good Choice, A Soul's Story, and elaborate a little bit. So I thought I'd start today by reading you a little bit from the back cover, which just gives you an overview of the book, because some of you might not even know what it's about. So here goes. So a soul goes into a waiting room. It sounds like the beginning of a joke, doesn't it? No, it's not a joke, but time for the big adventure. The soul is ready to start life anew. Assisted by consultants Lee and Joe, the soul ponders the many aspects of the physical world, eventually finding the exact placement needed to evolve in this lifetime. So you can probably gather that it's not a normal everyday book about personal growth and spiritual development. It, I'd have to say, came through me as a response to my personal experiences, but in the form of a fictional account. As it says further down on the back cover, in Good Choice, author Barbara Cook presents a fictional representation of a soul's story based on her personal experiences. Depicted through two of the magical and heartwarming consultations at pivotal moments on this soul's journey, it offers a view of how one's existence evolves. And this award sticker, when the book was one of 3 finalists in the International Book Awards, came under the heading of New Age Fiction. So now that you know that it's a fictional account, I'm going to read you a little bit from the very first chapter. The first chapter is called Attunement. And it says, I go into this room. I don't want you to get mixed up and think it's me as an actual person. Because, in this chapter, I haven't even been born yet. I haven't been conceived yet. So, settle in and have a listen. The door to the waiting room sprang open, and out came a burst of sunshine in the form of dear old Lee and Joe. Arms outstretched, they welcomed me into their warm embrace, and then, linking arms, led me inside. Been waiting long? Lee asked. No, just a bit. Perfect timing, I replied. Wonderful, Joe said. It's so good to have you with us again. A little bit further on, I was drawn to the middle of the room and into a shimmering pod that enveloped my presence like a womb. They hadn't changed a bit. As Joe spoke, I remembered the comforting depth of his voice. So, ready for the big adventure then? His wise, deep brown eyes held such a mischievous twinkle that I instantly remembered why I loved these two so much. Lee was just as pleased about the whole thing. When she smiled, her clear blue eyes sparkled like diamonds. She wore a look of contented expectancy. Just as I thought it, she said, well, let's get started. Let's get you a body. So you can see in that excerpt, there's a little reference to me as the soul presence, knowing these two already. Like I've been here before, pre-lifetime, being helped to find a placement for my evolution. But what about you? I know a lot of people, when I explain what this book's about, there's a little kind of a spark of recognition almost, like, ooh. And I wonder if you start to wonder about what journey your soul was planning in this lifetime. You might take into meditation in the next week or so this very concept. Why those people? Why that setting, that country, that era? When you have the value of hindsight, you might even be able to look back and go, oh, I see, well, I had to go through that. You might have some wisdom about how your soul is evolving and growing, and how you're not the same person you were in your 20s, say. I'm very excited as well to be not only starting to share a little bit more about my book with you, but also offering a workshop. It's in development, so it isn't launched just yet, but it's in development. It's called Your Soul Story. It's not any kind of writing course or anything, but I actually take you into some of these sort of fantasy settings that are in the book, and some other ones that you will come up with yourself, in order to kind of speak to your soul and ask your soul to find some kind of perspective or some kind of knowing that wasn't apparent when you're just using your thinking mind. So if you'd like to find out a little bit more about that, I'll put the link just up here for a bit. It's through my website, barbaracookauthor.com, and you'd go to workshops and Your Soul Story. You can find out all about that there, and there's a button there for you to register, even though it's not fully developed just yet. Also, if you're interested in finding out more about my book, I'll put the link up here now, barbaracookauthor.com, and it's the tab or the part called my book, I think I've just called it, and there's various things you can look at there, including some background and where you can buy the book as well.